Here's expert advice on problem-solving exams like you'll take in math and science.
When you skip the test, what I would recommend is you just take a look at it right off the bat. And then at the top of the test, if there are facts that are needed to know, formulas that you have to remember, put them down, right? Just dump that memory right on the page.
Next, look at the types of problems.
Make sure that you have all the pages, and then dump your memory again.
Do the easiest questions first. That way you get off to a positive start.
If you see something that you don't know how to do, don't hang on to it.
If a problem stumps you, move on to one that doesn't.
And if you figure out, hey, I know how to do that problem that I had left right in the middle of another problem, what you ought to do is drop what you're doing and get back to that problem so before you forget it again.
Read the questions carefully.
Wording is extremely important. It's very important to read the problems correctly. They have a tendency to read very quickly through the problem and do what they did on their last homework assignment.
Okay, so Hess's law is one of the ways that we have to calculate enthalpy.
Think before you calculate, says Clemson University chemistry prof Melanie Cooper.
Very bad course of action is just to see a problem and start calculating things, which is what a lot of students do. If you're going to solve a problem, you need to have a path. You need to know why you're doing it and where you're going before you start.
Understand the problem, plan your answer, execute the plan, avoiding careless mistakes.
Careless mistakes are a big problem, particularly with students who haven't taken a math class for a while. They're not used to having to be careful on every single problem, and they'll make a lot of, they call them stupid mistakes.
Quite often it's the little things, as this student discovered during a tutoring session when he couldn't solve a problem.
4 times 0 minus, oh, there's a minus, that's why. You see, it's minus. Okay, it's g of x times f prime of x minus.
So it's -6.
So it's -6, yes. So that should change it.
The student recalculates using the negative number and voila, solves the problem.
Yep.
So number 1, don't get careless. Number 2, don't get lazy.
A lot of students, particularly on these multiple choice exams where the entire page is taken up with the problem and here's just your choices, they won't even take out another sheet of paper to work the problems on.
Use whatever scratch paper is allowed in the exam room.
You need to space your work out and so that you can see where you made your mistakes if something doesn't work.
Work the problems. You don't get extra credit for finishing early.
Sometimes you can work a problem far enough and you recognize, well, it can't be A, B, or C, it's got to be D. And you can, if timing is an issue, you can use that as a technique to move forward at a little bit faster pace.
Remember, however, that in a show your work exam, you'll want to work the whole problem all the way through. Finally, let's talk about time management.
And preview it so that you can say, all right, I've got 10 questions here, I've got 50 minutes. Some people mistakenly just say, oh, I'll have 5 minutes for every question.
That's a mistake, he says, because you need time to review. If you do each question in an average of 4 minutes, that leaves 10 minutes for review.
You want time to check your work.
Here are key points to remember about problem-solving exams. Do a brain dump of facts and equations when you get the exam. Do the easiest questions first. Think before you calculate. Work the problems. Don't just guess at the answer on multiple choice tests. And allow time to check your work.